Alrighty, welcome back for another little training video for EMeBoss. Alrighty, there's a couple of little things that I've mentioned during some of these videos and that you'll come across that you'll need to sort of play with. One of the things that I've mentioned is if you can't refund a product or a payment, sorry, if you've already closed the day. This will be pretty evident as soon as you actually start trading and you start using the system. As soon as you come in the next morning, you'll have a screen pop up saying closed day. But this is how you do it, and if you ever need to reprint a report or something like that, you go to close day here. This is what will pop up in the morning. If you haven't closed the day before you head home at night, this will be one of the first things that will show up in the morning. The way you close the day is you have to print the report. We don't actually have to print it, you just have to press the button that says print report. You can either print that or you can just close it. So once you've done that, it'll actually give you the option to close the day, and as it says here, you cannot void payments once you've closed the day. So you would actually close the day. If you hit close here, all it does is just close this dialog box, so you haven't actually closed the day. If you want to print out an old report, say from yesterday, you print it, and there you go. Next thing I've mentioned is checking your quote reports and stuff like that. So the way you view all your reports, fairly logically, they're all under reports. So you click on the reports. You've got two main sections: your customers and your record keeping. You're not really going to get a whole lot out of your suppliers because it's pretty much all in the purchase order wizard or list. So first of all, your customer reports. It's mainly your quotes, your work orders, and your invoices. You've got your customer balances, payments list, registers, age analysis, statements, all that sort of stuff. But most of the stuff you're going to take out of the customer section are quotes, work in progress, invoice. So we click on the quote list, and I'd recommend that you do it sort of month to date, or let's have a look at last month. Let's go month to date. So we can search for customers, origination, industries, sales reps, all sorts of stuff. And then all you do is you can print that, or you can just look at it, call them. You can double click on it, it opens up the quote. Okay, so pretty simple. Exactly the same with work orders. There you go. So with work orders, you want to do all dates because it doesn't really matter what the date is. If it's still a work in progress, it'll be open. You just want to make sure that everything that's in this list is actually work in progress. If you find stuff that's not, like if Cunningham Construction was actually finished, you'd go in and you would actually convert it to an invoice. Every so often you do miss one or two at the end of the month. It's no massive drama. So that's how you check your reports. And then most of your accounting reports, like your accounts receivable, stuff like that, you'd normally pull that from your record keeping, but as you'll see, it doubles up a lot of the reports in both of these sections. So again, you've got invoice sales, accounts receivable, payments and refunds, unused open credits, royalty report, all that sort of stuff. So if you look at your accounts receivables, it's a good amount. You only owed $1,000. Alright, the next thing I mentioned, and you're going to want to play with a little bit and make sure that your markups are correct. This system is pretty rigid with the way it applies its markups. So you go in markup maintenance, you can create markups, so caps, promo, gear for life, biz, high vis, standard. This is a pretty standard breakdown of markups, pretty standard quantities, pretty standard percentages. Then you go to caps, promo, so you create these markups. Again, all you have to do, hit new, Tesco, and put in whatever you want. See, my logic would be to make that like 11. Most of us have a 4-head machine, so 3 runs. So from 0 to 11 is one price, 12 to whatever is another price, because you want them filling your machine, or something like that. You just want that couple more items. That sort of stuff. You'd go down and hit save. All done. If you want to edit any of these, again, all you have to do, save. Just like most of the other things that we've already shown you. But it's no good just creating them. You've actually got to go and apply them to something. So the way you do that is you come up to edit, come to items, and catalog maintenance, which we can sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone with this one, because this is how you actually load all of your products into EMeBoss. This is your catalog screen, and so if you're in New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, you're Australia 1. If you're in Western Australia, you're Australia 1 and Australia 2. Same with South Australia. You'll be mainly Australia 1 with 1 or 2 suppliers. You'll be Australia 2. Now, what do I mean by that? In your new section, you've got select country, Australia 1 and Australia 2. Some suppliers will give you a different price, like Harvest, if you're in Western Australia. They discount the price a little more for the West Australians because their shipping is a little more. So they give them a slightly better price to make up for the fact that their shipping costs more. Some of the other people, they have a different distributor. So like Biz Collection is sold through 4 Seasons, or someone like that. So there's a distributor, so there's a different price. Then all you have to do, as I said here, there's Harvest, so we tick the desired catalog that we want to download, and we hit download. Now this pink screen, or purple pinky color tab, is everything that's currently in your system. So these are all the catalogs that are actually in your system now. Anything in the green tab are catalogs that you could download. Doesn't necessarily mean you want to download them, like this one. It's a very old catalog, so you don't want that in your system, so it should stay here. There should also be a few more in this screen, which I'll show you how to get rid of shortly. So you just have to wait for these to download. Once it finishes downloading, we can then do some other bits and pieces. It shouldn't take too long, seeing it's Harvest. It's not the biggest catalog in the world. Okay, so once the catalog downloads, it leaves this green tab and it's now back in our loaded catalogs. So that was Harvest AU2 that we just downloaded. So we'll scroll down and find that catalog, and there it is, Harvest AU2. Now what you'll see here is some catalogs have nothing here in the catalog status, which means these were all added by the store. So this will never be updated via head office, because this is all stuff that's been put in by the store via item maintenance. So all of these catalogs are loaded via the EMeBoss system over the web, and that's what it checks for every morning. Every time you close down, it tries to optimize all this stuff. So what you'll see when there's an update, you'll see this happen. New version available. All you have to do, just like you did for the harvest in the new catalog, tick the box and click download. Now I'm not going to download that one because it's not correct. Every so often the incorrect catalog is loaded, so I always send out an email advising you if these new versions are actually correct and ready to be downloaded. So this one is not actually correct. We're waiting for that to be amended at the moment. But what you'll also see, some of them say match online version, others say catalog not available. So this one that says catalog not available is no good to us, because that's old. So we would normally try and delete it, and the way you would normally try and delete it or remove it is to tick it and click delete. But we can't actually tick it, so all you have to do is highlight the line, click on delete and remove it. Unfortunately, you do have to do this one by one, so it can be a long process if you've bought an existing store and you're trying to tidy up this section. A lot of people let this get a little bit messy and a little bit out of control, and it will take you probably half an hour to fix it up, but that's all. So we wait for that to finish. There we go. And now I'll go down and I'll illustrate some of the things that I mentioned before, as in this tab should have more products in it than it currently does. So Epicenter 2010, 2012. If there's two Epicenter catalogs for exactly the same thing here, they're both going to show up and you're not going to know which is the correct price. So what we need to do is delete that. Now, the reason why we initially came in here was to show you how to apply a markup. Now there is one way to do that. This Epicenter Caps catalog here, we'll highlight it, we'll click on the drop down, we'll select Caps. So if we hit save, it's going to save this, but it's not going to do anything. It's not actually going to go and apply this markup to the spreadsheet. So what we need to do is tick the box and re-download this catalog. Even if it's already in our system, we need to re-download it with the cap markup applied to it before any of those changes in the markup will take effect. Okay, so once that happens, all the Epicenter caps will be sold at the correct markup. So we've run through some reports, how to do markups, how to download new catalogs, very important. The next thing that you're going to want to have a look at is you're going to need to know how to actually create items, just like they did up that top section of the catalog screen. So the way you do that is through item maintenance. So if we wait for it to open up properly, you can either open an existing item and edit it, or you can start straight off the bat and test item, catalog, and you can put it in an existing catalog, page not applicable, description, test item, and it's apparel, oops, big. Yes, charge tax. Yes, it's a physical item. Yes, included in the purchase order, and charge tax too, just to be sure. Now, if it's just a one color item, no color choices, no size options, you would tick no colors or sizes. Not very many things that we sell have no size options and no color variations. So you hit add remove, and this is where we put in our colors. White, black, blue, whatever the colors are that you've got. Now the sizes, small, 2XL, 3XL, 5XL is a very common sizing structure. They miss out the 4XL. But if you're doing ladies, you have to actually type in 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and then that would be 22, wouldn't it? And hit finish. The ladies don't have the little button, so you've just got to type it in by hand. It's no major issue. Next thing we do is we need to apply a price to this, don't we? So you want to have it pretty much all the time. You're going to calculate it based on the retail cost of markup. So you hit edit cost. Now quite often white is cheaper than the rest, so what you want to do is you always want to do the cheapest item first. And I'll illustrate why. So I'll do the most expensive ones first. So if I hit the 2 arrows, everything goes across. Select that one, single arrow, and it sends 1 back. So the dark colors are more expensive than the white. And then all the sizes go across, and these are $10. All I have to do is hit 10 once. Now I can hit finish, and it fills it down. All those colors are $10. Now, if I go edit cost, white, all the sizes, and I hit 9, it normally won't let me do that. In this case, it has. If I wanted to go and edit the cost of all of these, and now I'll do it as $8. This is what I was saying. It doesn't like you to make it cheaper than it already is, so it makes you actually type in 8 for all of these. Then you hit finish and it changes the price on all of them. Whereas if you're making it more expensive, you only have to do it once. Okay, so always try and think about, always try and do the cheapest thing first. So if you ever need to change the price and it's going up, you only have to press the button once. I mean, as I said, it's no big deal. It's 6 buttons you got to press, so it's not going to kill you. That's how you change it. Then again, remember to hit save, otherwise you lose all your information.